Okay, so hi guys, it's Makka the American here, ready to discuss the term otaku and what it means in Japan versus what it means in America. Now, starting off, you've probably heard me use this term all of the time, and that is otaku. It's a Japanese term that usually refers to, here in America at least, to someone that really loves Japanese culture or anime and manga. However, in Japan, otaku is meant more as an insult. And it's really interesting to see the difference between in Japan and America when you use that term. You may see it a lot in anime. When otaku is used in anime or manga, normally there's this kind of negative reaction to it, almost as if someone is insulted. And that is because they are insulted. In Japan, otaku is actually a word that is used to describe someone that is unhealthily obsessed with some sort of hobby. Whether that be anime or manga or really anything else. It was kind of developed, if I remember correctly, it was developed in the 70s or 80s, and then it slowly built up to the point where it had this very negative correlation and became an insult in Japan to be called an otaku. As time has progressed, though, and Japan has started to notice the use of it in America and other cultures, that negative correlation has started to diminish ever so slightly, but it's still insulting to be called an otaku in Japan. Now, America, on the other hand, when we developed this term otaku, and it came over from Japan along with anime and manga, we apparently did not see it that way. We just kind of said, oh, it must have something to do with hobbies. Or I don't even know. Maybe we just said, hey, it's Japanese, so we're going to use it for this. But in the end, we actually had a more positive correlation. Is just a title for a group of people that really like Japanese culture and anime and manga. We actually have our own term here in America that's used more as a negative correlation for someone like that, and we use it as weeaboo. Or if you use the shortened term of it, a weeb. But that does not have the same correlation as an otaku does in Japan. Otaku in Japan is somebody that is unhealthily obsessed with hobbies and lets their hobbies rule their life. Here in America, weeaboos are people that are unhealthily obsessed with Japanese culture and believe themselves to be part of that culture. Why is that belief incorrect? Because if you're not from Japan, you're not part of their culture and you don't know everything about it. Like me, I freely admit I don't know everything, and that's why I always say in my videos, if you guys know something better or you disagree, go ahead and comment, because I like to learn as much as you do, as an American. But there are people out there, and you've probably heard some of the common terms that weeaboos use, like kawaii desune, which is horrible pronunciation, by the way, or just putting dace on the end of everything. If you don't know, in Japanese, dace means is, kind of. I've never actually heard anyone do it, but I guess it happens. I've never met anyone that was like that, to be honest, but there are these levels and these words that we use in our culture as otakus here in America and England and Europe and other places that are negative but don't have the same relationship as otaku does in Japan. In Japan, it developed to be this word where if you were called an otaku, it meant you were shut in, that you didn't function in society properly, that you were way too obsessed with your hobbies and let them rule over your life, to the point that they were no longer hobbies. Like here in America, and pretty much everywhere else in the world, we all have this kind of push towards being functioning members of society and doing the things that we're good at to help society as a whole. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that in Japan, an otaku is somebody that is considered to put their own selfish obsessions, I wouldn't even say selfish, but obsessions over the good of working in society. So they would rather shut themselves away into their own fantasy realm of their hobbies and what they like, especially with anime and manga, and not go outside and talk to people. Now, is that to say that otakus can't function? No, otaku and neets are totally different. Neets are people that literally cannot function and so they shut themselves in. Otakus are perfectly fine and they can function, they are just not as acceptable as other people, and that's why a lot of the time in Japan, if you're an otaku, you tend to hide it. But here in America, a lot of the times we do the same thing. I know that being an otaku here in America can be a little weird and awkward, and a lot of people immediately just go weeb as soon as they hear the fact that you like anime. But we don't need to hide it. I don't think people in America or Japan really need to hide the fact. But I do think that as an otaku in America or in Japan, you need to be able to function to some point where you have a job, or you're going to educate yourself, or you are bettering yourself in some way and not shutting yourself in. It's very important that everybody in this world have somebody that they can go outside to and speak to. We all need to have some level of social skills and find ways to relate to each other, especially now as an American. So as otakus in Japan and otakus here in America, it's important that we are upfront about the things that we love and that we enjoy. But also to remember that you have to understand that the things that you are seeing on the screen or in a book are not real to society, and they're not real to the world that we are living in. I am the bearer of horrible news. And you have to be able to function in the world we are living in to some extent. So whether you're in Japan or you're in America, it's best never to let yourself become that Japanese version of the stereotype of an otaku that lets their hobbies rule their life and their bank accounts and etc. etc. So basically, in the end, to summarize, in Japan, otaku has a negative correlation where they use it as kind of an insult for people that are shut-ins and let their hobbies rule their life and bank accounts, while here in America it's just a term that's usually applied as a title to a group of people that enjoy Japanese culture such as anime and manga. Wow, I actually said that really well and I am proud of myself! But that is it for this video, so if you guys like this, you can go ahead and like, subscribe, comment to tell me whether you think otaku should be correlated negatively in Japan or anywhere else, or whether you think that weeaboo is a good term to be applied to certain people, or really anything that you think on this subject, and I will see you guys in the next video, and that is it. Bye!